Welcome back into the night shift on Sports Radio 810 WHB. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, joined by Kyle Collier and producer Caden Sproul. The Chiefs are trading all-pro cornerback Trent McDuffy to the Los Angeles Rams in exchange for the Rams' first-round pick, number 29, a fifth-round pick, a sixth-round pick, and a 2027 third-round pick. So 4 picks for McDuffy. This is according to Ian Rappaport, and the expectation is that McDuffy will get a contract extension and become the highest paid corner in football at over $30.1 million. It's a huge chunk of change that the Chiefs were not interested in paying McDuffy, and so he finds a new home in Los Angeles, and now the Chiefs have 9 draft picks. And before we talk about the comment made in the last segment about should the Chiefs draft a right tackle in the draft, I want to go over the current draft picks. The Chiefs have pick 9. They got pick 29 from the Rams in the first round. They have pick 40, 74, 109, 147. They got pick 168 from the Rams. That's in the 5th round. They have a comp pick, 177, in the 5th round. And then the final pick is from the Rams, 6th round at pick 210. So 9 draft picks total, 3 of which coming from the Rams today. That completely changes all of the discourse around the draft. The guys you should take, the guys you should avoid taking because you don't have enough draft picks to get everybody, to fill all the holes. You've got a lot more lottery tickets now. And so that leads into the conversation, should the Chiefs be looking at drafting an offensive lineman in the first round, a running back in the first round, a defensive end like Reuben Bain or David Bailey, possibly trading up to go get the player that you want in the top 5? That's a realistic possibility now. But what do you think about the prospect of drafting the future right tackle?
Yeah, and to your point, yeah, the Chiefs they've opened themselves up to there's so many more options on the table right now. Right tackle, yeah, it's not something you can ignore because as of right now, you have Jalen Moore, who's on the final year of his 2 for $30 deal. He signed last offseason. If they go right tackle, it depends where. I don't think you're getting a day 1 starter other than maybe if you draft Francis Mauigoa at pick 9. That's about the only spot. But if you draft him at 9, is he going to be your day 1 starter? Is he going to be better than Jalen Moore? If you go right tackle, maybe you're closing yourself off to some other defensive end options. And I think defensive end and or wide receiver might be more important to go on day 1.
Yeah, and honestly, I looked at a mock draft before we started, and it had Spencer Fano going late in the first round, which was crazy to me because every mock I've seen up to this point, he's been inside the top 15.
Yeah, he slid.
I don't know if he slid or what, but if the Chiefs had a chance to take him at 29, I'd buy that right away. I'd go for that, honestly. But if not, then I think you'd see him take a similar approach to what they did at left tackle before they got Josh Simmons and kind of just sign a vet to 1-year deal.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly who that is. I'd have to look into the right tackle free agency market, but I think that's where you could see him going. Esapole is another guy that has been mentioned there, but did he play right tackle at all last season?
I think he did once. Well, no, actually, I don't know if he did. I think the assumption is that since he was so good on the left side, that he could also play on the right side, but he also might have played a game or 2 on that right side because once Wanye Morris got hurt against the Broncos, they kind of had to shift around the offensive line, but I know Chu Godric was the right tackle for a period of time. As long as it's not Chu Godric starting week 1 in 2026, I think that the Chiefs will be in a better spot, but
yeah, Esapole, he was good at left tackle, but I don't think that means you can assume he'll be the same type of player on the right side. It's 2 different positions. And he also was a guy that the Chiefs cut, too. I mean, they saw later on that, he was better than that, but clearly they don't see him as being a franchise type of player if you didn't make the cut,
And I'm looking at the right tackle market right now. Not a ton of exciting options. New guy, Juwan Taylor, just hit the market. But there's really not a lot there. Maybe that's something they target, later in the draft. I think I would be a little bit disappointed if they used their top 10 pick on a right tackle, because I think they're fine at offensive line next year. Jalen Moore wasn't outstanding, but he wasn't bad. by any stretch of the imagination. And I think if you give him a full offseason of him just knowing he's going to be the right tackle, a full offseason of an OTA's training camp of preparation, I think he'll be solid at that spot. I'd like to use that pick on more valuable areas, wide receiver and or defensive end.
I wouldn't be thrilled because it shows you two things: that the Chiefs are not confident in Jalen Moore, and so they have to use
who they gave $30 million to.
Yeah, so they have to use a large amount of draft capital, or at least a very high draft pick, to go solve that problem that they already spent a bunch of money on last year. And it also tells me that they did not like any of the prospects available at 9, that they went right tackle. And this would also come after Brett Veach said at the Combine that the skill position players are better than some of the premium position players this year. So I'm out on the Chiefs taking a right tackle at 9. We could have the conversation at pick 29, but even then, you've got 2 premium picks in 9 and 29. You can get an edge rusher and a wide receiver, or vice versa. You have a chance to get 2 players before the Chiefs even drafted last year. That's a huge advantage, and I don't think right tackle is a big enough need right now. Now, maybe next year we can have the conversation of drafting a right tackle in the first round, but if they don't go wide receiver, edge rusher, wide receiver, or a combination that involves at least taking an edge rusher, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah, no, I will too, and especially after today's trade with Trent McDuffie. A lot of holes on that defense, and there was already a lot of holes to begin with, mostly along that defensive line. So yeah, I'd like to see that pick used on somebody who can make an impact, I think, right away.